Today we're going to be going over some cheap fragrance clones that smell more than double the price of what you pay to get these into your collection. And so what it comes down to is you're able to get something for a fraction of the cost, and even if you wanted to pay all of that money for the real deal, sometimes it's kind of hard to find on its own. But all of that aside, you know, putting the rareness aspect of maybe a couple of these aside, when you break it down, the price point that these are offered at is, to me, reasonable without a doubt. I don't think any of these are overpriced. I don't think if you were to judge them fairly, you would ever be disappointed. You know, there's going to be people who hate clones no matter what, no matter if it's the best clone ever and it was only $25, they would still hate it. And that's fine to have that opinion or whatever. But if you're someone who is on a budget, you're trying to kind of take a smart approach at this hobby and try to get a variety in your collection without spending as much money as you would without purchasing clones, then I think you're really going to like these options. Let's get things kicked off with the FOMO. This is Gary's Den by FOMO Parfums, FRAGRANCEBUY.CA's new brand they launched, I don't know, a couple months back. Really quick, FRAGRANCEBUY is running a 48-hour sale. I did a video on this. I did, sent out, of course, an email and a text giving you guys the information on this already. If you missed that, I will put the information down below for the sale. 48 hours only, ends this Sunday at midnight. So make sure you kind of jump in there and pick some of these up and take advantage of those sales and coupons while you can. But Gary's Den is a Dior Homme Parfum clone. Now, DHP is one that it's a little bit hard to find. It pops up, every so often. I would say right around, on average, once a month. Maybe sometimes there'll be a month in between, but it will pop up. I send out an email, text every time. So if you're on those lists, you've had no problem getting yours. It's just one of those things where it comes and goes really quick. It happens so fast, and then it looks like it never is in stock because you're not catching it during that hour or so time frame where it is. And so that aside, it's also expensive. It's $180 usually when it pops up, so it's not cheap. Gary's Den is about $35 to $37 or so. It is a fantastic, super reasonably priced alternative to the Dior, and the quality here is nothing short of impressive and shocking at this price point. I mean, this really can hold up. I mean, this really holds its own. I'm not going to say it's right there neck and neck with, the Dior, and you would probably kind of hope it's not if you're paying that money for the real deal. And I will say, though, it doesn't really leave much on the table. I think they did as much as they could to make this as premium as they could at this price constraint. Again, under $40. This is a really impressive clone. If you want Dior Homme Parfum on a budget, this is it. I have DHP, I have a few bottles of it, but there's still times where I, feel a little bit guilty wearing it just because it's expensive and it is a little bit of a rarity. And so if those are the times where, maybe I'm going to be showering in a few hours, or maybe I just don't feel like it's an appropriate time to wear the actual one, I can toss this one on and sleep well at night knowing that this costed me, $37. I can buy it pretty much any time, and it just gives you nice peace of mind if you're worried about that. Next up, we have AFNAN 9 PM. This is an Ultra Male clone, really good one at that. Ultra Male is one you can get pretty much anywhere, anytime. You could pay full retail for it if you wanted to. You could get it at any of the discounters, and it's usually going to be hovering right around $100 or just a touch under. So, standard upper range designer pricing there. Nothing crazy and nothing cheap either. It's just kind of where it is. And in today's time, where the retail prices of a lot of these designers are climbing into the mid to upper $100 range, it doesn't make that look so bad. It really is crazy when you stop and look around and see the retail prices of all of these now. There was a point when I was getting started where the going retail rate for a lot of the designers, not all, but a good majority of them, was like $80 to $90, and gone are those days. And so Ultra Male, if you don't want to swing that, you don't feel like it's necessary to own that one, you can grab this for right around, I think, $40. So, roughly half the price or so. And you're going to get a very similar effect. Something that's sweet and fruity, great for fall and winter time. This is very mass pleasing as well. Very sweet, not for everybody, but if you're after something a little bit different, I would say go for it. Next up, we have Proud of You Absolute by Fragrance World. So this is going to be, no surprise, Stronger With You Absolutely clone. Now, Stronger With You Absolutely is another one of those scents that is a little bit hard to pick up. You know, it's often out of stock, and so just kind of how it is. You can grab this for about $36, and it's going to, you know, yield a very similar result. It does have the chestnut, the vanilla, tonka bean combo with some of the boozy touches that you get from Absolutely. And so it really is a true flanker of that one in particular. It's not like they were just going after the Stronger With You DNA, just maybe the original or intensely, and, you know, kind of clickbaiting you into making it look like it was a clone of Absolutely. Fragrance World, they were smart. They knew which one was the most sought after and the one that's the most high demand, and they went ahead and cloned that one. So got to give them props. They are doing some crazy things with their presentation and with their clones. And again, credit where credit's due. This is a very solid, high quality alternative at an affordable price. Mid $30 range. You can't beat it. You know, when the real one pops up, it's usually in the 130s or so, sometimes around 100 if you can get lucky with a really good deal. So big savings here if you're after it. I got to throw in a YSL Tuxedo clone, and, you know, today there are a million options. It's kind of becoming the next Aventus. Well, nowhere near that level, but there are a lot of YSL Tuxedo clones now. It's crazy. This one is one that is probably talked about the least. It is AFNAN TURATHI Brown, and again, you kind of heard all you need to know already. It's got that patchouli, spicy, you know, vanillic DNA here, some tonka as well, of course, but it's the Tuxedo DNA. It's very unique. It stands out, and now is the time of year for this, in my opinion. Fall is the perfect time for this. It smells like the season of autumn every time you spray this stuff. And you can wear it into wintertime, no problem. As long as it's cold outside or cool outside, I think this one is appropriate. I just happen to like it for this time of year right now. You kind of have a little bit more of a cloudy, cool, kind of misty, slightly rainy fall day. I mean, this stuff is phenomenal for that. Or if you have a situation where you're going to be a little bit more dressed up and formal, this is a DNA that works great for that as well, as you could probably imagine by the name of the real one and some of the clone names as well. Tux, you know, suits, Tuxor, things like that. Yeah, there's a few. Yeah, so if you're looking for a Tuxedo clone that's a little bit off the beaten path, check out AFNAN TURATHI Brown. It's another one that's around $40. It's a great high quality pickup. Let's go for BOROUJ PERLADOR up next. This one here is a PDM Carlisle clone, and Carlisle is going to be one of the more premium, expensive PDM scents. You know, when there are the sales that discounters often run, it's still going to be one of the most expensive ones. You know, sometimes, you know, Leighton, Sedley, Percival, things like that will dip right around 180. Carlisle's still going to be up in the low to mid 200s usually. So always a little bit more of a premium on that. In terms of retail price, I don't know it off the top of my head, but I would likely assume it's going to be a little bit more than the others as well. Although I could be wrong. I want to say normally PDMs retail for like $350 for the full size 125 ml, but I could be off on that as well. Like I said, don't hold me in any of that. Check the numbers for yourself if you really want to know, but I know the sales, you know, you can save a good amount of money off of them when they dip into the 180s, but you're still not getting down to this price point for Carlisle. This is around usually $60 to $70. And so in terms of all of the other clones we're covering, this is going to be one of the most expensive ones. But relative to Carlisle, it's still a big, big difference here. And it does show, you know, this has phenomenal quality. Another one where I got this one in and I smelled it, was starting to wear it and test it and become familiar with it. And it is one of those things where I was just like, this is incredible. This is crazy. This is, you know, just, I don't know. There's something about the quality and the growth of these clones that we've been seeing within the past few years. They're getting crazy. They're almost getting too good. You know, my clone collection, not my cologne collection, my clone collection has grown drastically just within the past year or so. Like, they've really been ramping up production. And for what it's worth, yeah, I guess my cologne collection has grown as well. These are colognes, but you know, everything's going crazy. A lot of clones being pumped out. Way more cologne releases than new designer releases across the board from all of the brands. So yeah, if you're looking for PDM Carlisle on a budget, look no further than BOROUJ PERLADOR. Let's go with ARMAF FUTURA L'Homme Eau de Parfum. This is easiest way to describe it as a Dior Homme clone. So I'm talking Dior Homme with Iris, you know, Dior Homme Original or Dior Homme 2011. The one with Iris, not the one with all of the woods and cashmere and things like that. So if you can grab a bottle of this, I would not think twice. Fortunately, often out of stock. I wanted to throw it in anyway because I do feel like it's worth hunting down and keeping in the back of your mind if you ever see this pop up to get it, because it is phenomenal. And again, it's truly Dior Homme. It's not DHI, it's not DHP. It's OG, clean, soapy, irisy Dior Homme to perfection. And when it's in stock, it's 30 bucks, $27. Great price. And we're going to finish things off with Fragrance World Jack of Clubs, a La Nuit de l'Homme Bleu Electrique clone. Another one that I just love to see. You know, this one came out, I had to get it in and try it, and sure enough, you know, it's a La Nuit Bleu Electrique. That cardamom note is breathtaking. It's dusty, it's spicy, it's powdery, it's so good. And that's what Bleu Electrique is all about. They kind of, to me, did their best to revive that kind of original cardamom note that was somewhat lost over the years as La Nuit de l'Homme has evolved through all of these IFRA regulations and restrictions and reformulations and all of that stuff. And so, of course, Bleu Electrique can't, you know, reverse all of the rules and regulations that have been put into place, but it really did smell like they had made that DNA a little bit more familiar again. Like they brought it back to life. And then right in front of our eyes, it vanished within less than a year of being released. It was a really bizarre scenario with that one. And so yes, Bleu Electrique is one that's hard to get, pops up from time to time. I send out a notification, whatever, not a big deal. You can get it if you're just diligent about it. But you can also get this for $35, $36, and it's very similar. Alrighty guys, that's going to do it for me. A handful of fragrance clones that smell double their price. These are amazing. They have the quality, the performance, and the accuracy to back them all up. If you're someone who is on a budget and you're trying to just save as much as you can and have a nice variety of scents in your collection, then I recommend these. You know, these here all have a pretty good range of variety. Looking at them now, all kind of trending towards fall and winter time right now, present time of me shooting this here and where I'm at. If you're somewhere where it's warmer, I apologize. I've done other videos on, you know, clones and they're fresher and stuff, but you know, these are great. They're going to get you through a lot of situations at a low cost compared to the real, you know, deals that they are cloning. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.